bytes object and byte array objects methods. Bytes dot capitalize, byte array dot capitalize. Return a copy of the sequence with each byte interpreted as an ASCII character, and the first byte capitalized and the rest lowercase. Non-ASCII byte values are passed through unchanged. Note: the byte array version of this method does not operate in place. It always produces a new object even if no changes were made. Bytes dot expand tabs. Tab size is equal to 8. Byte array dot expand tabs. Tab size is equal to 8. Return a copy of the sequence where all ASCII tab characters are replaced by one or more ASCII spaces, comma, depending on the current column and given tab size. Tab positions occur every tab size bytes. Default is 8, giving tab positions at column 0, 8, 16, and so on. To expand the sequence, the current column is set to 0 and the sequence is examined byte by byte. If the byte is an ASCII tab character B, inverted inside inverted comma backslash t, one or more space characters are inserted in the result until the current column is equal to the next tab position. The tab character itself is not copied. If the current byte is an ASCII new line, B new line, or carries return B backslash R, it is copied and the current column is reset to 0. Any other byte value is copied unchanged and the current column is incremented by 1 regardless of how the byte value is represented when printed. Let's see the example of expand tabs. Print, and let me run it. So here is this is the output. Default size tab size is 8. Here explicitly setting tab size to 4 spaces. This is 4 spaces. Note: the byte array version of this method does not operate in place. It always produces a new object even if no changes were made. Bytes dot is alphanumeric. Byte array dot is alnum alphanumeric. Return true if all bytes in the sequence are alphabetical ASCII characters or ASCII decimal digits, and in the sequence is not empty. False otherwise. Alphabetic ASCII characters are those byte values in the sequence B, A, B, C, D, E, A to Z, small letter, A to Z, capital letter. ASCII decimal digits are those byte values in the sequence 0 to 9. For example, A, B, C, D, E is alphanumeric. Yes, so true. And then this one is false because there is a space. Because there is a spell which is not alphanumeric character, right? Bytes dot is alpha. Byte array dot is alpha. Return true if all bytes in the sequence are alphabetic ASCII characters and the sequence is not empty. False otherwise. Alphabetic ASCII characters are those bytes values in sequence A to Z, small letter, A to Z, capital letter. For example, this one is alpha, this one is true. Bytes dot is ASCII. Byte array dot is ASCII. Return true if the sequence is empty and all bytes in the sequence are ASCII. False otherwise. ASCII bytes are in the range of 0 to 0x7f. Bytes dot digit. Byte array dot is digit. Return true if all bytes in the sequence are ASCII decimal digits and the sequence is not empty. False otherwise. ASCII decimal digits are those byte values in the sequence B 0 to 9. For example, B1 2 3 4 dot is digit is true. B1 dot 2 3 dot is digit is false. Bytes dot lower. Byte array dot is lower. Return true if there is at least one lowercase ASCII character in the sequence and no uppercase ASCII characters, false otherwise. For example, be hello world dot is lower true, be hello world is lower true false. For lowercase ASCII characters are those byte values in the sequence A to Z small letter. Uppercase ASCII characters are those byte values in the sequence B A to Z uppercase letter. Is space bytes dot is space byte array dot is space return true if all bytes in the sequence are ASCII white space and the sequence is not empty, false otherwise. ASCII white space characters are those byte values in the sequence B backslash T backslash N backslash R backslash X0B backslash F space tab new line carriage return vertical tab form feed. Bytes dot is title byte array dot is title return true if the sequence is ASCII title case and the sequence is not empty, false otherwise. See bytes dot title for more details on the definition of title case. For example, be hello world is title true, be hello world dot is title false. Bytes dot is upper byte array dot is upper return true if there is at least one uppercase alphabetical ASCII character in the sequence and no lowercase ASCII characters, false otherwise. For example, be hello world is upper true, be hello world is upper false. Lowercase ASCII characters are those byte values in the sequence B A to Z small letter. Uppercase ASCII characters are those byte values in the sequence B A to Z capital. Bytes dot lower byte array dot lower return a copy of the sequence with all the uppercase ASCII characters converted to their corresponding lowercase counterpart. For example, be hello world dot lower be hello world. Lowercase ASCII characters are those byte values in the sequence B A to Z small letter. Uppercase ASCII characters are those byte values in the sequence B A to Z capital letters. Note: the byte array version of this method does not operate in place. It always produces a new object even if no changes were made. Byte dot split lines keep ends is equal to false. Byte array dot split lines keep ends is equal to false. Return a list of lines in the binary sequence breaking at ASCII line boundaries. This method uses the universal new line approach to splitting lines. Line breaks are not included in the resulting list unless keep ends is given and true. For example, BAB space C backslash and backslash N D E F G R K L backslash R backslash N split lines is equal to BABC comma B empty string comma BDE space FG comma BKL. BABC split lines keep ends is equal to true. BABC ends will be preserved. Unlike split, when a delimiter string separator is given, this method returns an empty list for the empty string, and a terminal line break does not result in an extra line. B split B and B comma B two lines backslash and dot split B and B. Okay, this is blank and B two lines and then B. B two lines empty string, so empty list B1 line till B1 line and split lines. SW bytes dot swap case byte array dot swap case return a copy of the sequence with all lowercase ASCII characters converted to their corresponding uppercase counterpart and vice versa. For example, be hello world dot swap case hello world. Lowercase ASCII characters are those byte values in sequence A to Z small letter. Uppercase ASCII characters are those byte values in the sequence B A to Z capital letters. Unlike str.swapcase, it is always the case that bean.swapcase is equal to bean for the binary conversions. Case conversions are symmetrical in ASCII, even though that is not generally true for arbitrary Unicode code points. Note: the byte array version of this method does not operate in place. It always produces a new object even if no changes were made. Bytes.title, bytearray.title. Return a title cased version of binary, the binary sequence where words start with an uppercase ASCII characters and the remaining characters are lowercase. Uncased byte values are left unmodified. For example, b hello world.title hello world. Lowercase ASCII characters are those byte values in sequence b a to z small. Uppercase ASCII characters are those byte values in the sequence B A to Z capital letters. All other byte values are uncased. The algorithm uses a simple language independent definition of a word as groups of consecutive letters. The definition works in many contexts, but it means that apostrophes in contractions and possessives form word boundaries, which may not be the desired result. B. They are Bill's friends from the UK title. So this is not the desired result, as shouldn't be capital here. A workaround from apostrophe can be constructed using regular expression. Import re div title case return re dot sub rb a to z plus a to z plus lambda mo colon mo dot group 0 0 1 dot upper plus mo dot group 0 1 lower s. Title case B. They are Bill's friends. They are Bill's friends. This is the expected output. S shouldn't be capital. Note: the byte array version of this method does not operate in place. It always produces a new object even if no changes were made. Bytes.upper, byte array.upper. Return a copy of the sequence with all lowercase ASCII characters converted to their corresponding uppercase counterpart. For example, b hello world.upper, b hello world. Bytes.zil, zfill width, byte array.zfill width. Return a copy of the sequence left filled with ASCII b0 digits to make a sequence of length width. Leading sign prefix b plus b minus is handled by inserting the padding after the sign character rather than before. For bytes object, the original sequence is returned if width is less than or equal to length separate sequence. For example, b42.sbill, this one b minus 2. Note: the byte array version of this method does not operate in place. It always produces a new object even if no changes were made. Thank you.